What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. I hope your week is going well so far. Today's an exciting day for us at ASFX. We're releasing our newest course. So Backtesting 101, you've probably heard me talk about it in recent videos or on my Instagram or on Twitter. Backtesting 101 is now available. You can click the link in the description. You get instant access to the course and instant access to the spreadsheet so you can start testing either the ASFX systems that I'm going to show you in this video and that you can learn in our courses, or you can start testing your own trading strategy to prove if the rules you're going to apply into the live market, if those rules are going to be profitable or not. I think that's a really important step that a lot of traders are overlooking. And that's why most people lose money in trading. They don't have a system, and then they don't backtest that system and prove it profitable. So no matter where you're at in your trading career, whether you're crushing it and you just want to refine your edge, or if you're struggling and you want to take that first step towards consistency, the backtesting course is going to make a difference for you. I guarantee it. All the feedback so far has been good. I gave a couple of people early access to it. They all loved it. And honestly, it exceeded their expectations, they said. So I think you're going to love it too. Link in the description. Let me know what you think after you finish the course and after you start using the spreadsheet. So now let's get into the two positions I want to talk about. You can see my P&L so far for the day. I'm going to come back on when this GJ trade is done and I'll wrap up the video. But first, you're going to see my GCAD trade from Monday. I closed that here at 173.81. I'm going to show you why I did that in a second. Then you'll see today, the 22nd, I took my position on GJ at 150.214, and I closed my first piece of the trade at 149.855. So a nice little drop here, about 45 pips, 40 pips or so. So before we get into GJ, let's go over to GCAD. I want to show you here the position that I was in and where I closed it. So if you remember, Monday we took it long here, off the 50, off the 21 EMA, way back here. We saw a massive move. At most, this moved 260 pips in my favor. So a really strong move. Remember, the biggest day of the year so far for 2021. Now, yesterday, we had CAD news that remained the same. It came out as forecast. Nothing really changed there, but the market reacted very violently with this huge candle here, because it was high impact news. Whether you want to say the brokers move price on that news or not, based on that news or not, just because the news is happening, whatever you want to say, those high impact news events are events that we can see in advance and know that they will create volatility. So I was expecting something to happen here. I just wasn't sure if it was going to move higher or move lower. So that was the first sign that the trade was coming against me. I still had a small piece on yesterday with my stop loss locked in profit down here. But when I saw price action this morning, holding the 21 EMA, holding the 50 EMA, I'm looking at GJ to short it. I decided, hey, time to cut the position, still in profit, very small piece, get out of this, move my brain space over to GJ, and now let's manage that. I struggle managing too many positions at once. So for me, I don't want to hold GCAD long. Even if this is just a temporary pullback and it could rise into the end of the week tomorrow, I don't want to hold this long if I'm about to go short on GJ. I'd much rather just turn the focus here. Now, talking about GBP JPY, you can see yesterday we were looking at it for a short idea at 7:45 in the morning. Now that comes after Tuesday's drop. Tuesday it broke ADR and moved lower. Wednesday we're looking for shorts. It drops to the divergence line that we have drawn. If I just move this text out of the way, you'll see. I can actually delete this because I have that saved already. We talked about this a little bit in the recap yesterday, but you can see the divergence there. It comes right to the divergence line, about 3.6 R. That's a really nice move. Dennis caught some of that. James caught some of that. So then today, we're looking for the same direction to hold because it didn't reverse overnight. It's still making lower highs and lower lows. It comes off the 21 EMA here at like 3 a.m. Some of the guys in the room made money here going short. Now, at 7 o'clock, it comes off the 21 again, presenting what could be an A1 formation. But I didn't like this for a couple of reasons. Number one, the TDI is technically swapping. You can see it does go into the buy zone there before dropping into the sell zone. It spends most of the day in the sell zone, so that's why the short bias is still in control, but it is technically swapping. So that's the first knock. And the other knock that I didn't love about it was that this bar, if I was to enter short there, it was overextended. It was the biggest bar of the day, body of the day, and I never like to enter on overextended candles because it can lead to a pullback. So I waited for the pullback, and as it pulled back, you can look on the 1 minute here, it held the 8 EMA on the 15 minute, but it pulled back. Let me actually show you where the box is so you can follow. Let me sync this over to the other side. And then you can go here and you can see it. So now this blue box, that's that candle formation that I was looking for it to break out, but then we said that it's overextended, so you got to wait. In waiting, it comes to the 1 minute 50 EMA and holds. It makes a lower high from the divergence here inside that candle formation. So you've got bearish divergence, which is a bearish sign inside that candle formation that just was overextended, but it could be still signaling to us that this wants to move lower, but it's saying maybe we should wait to find better risk reward. So that instead of looking at it like an A1 that's overextended, I started to look at it like a D1 entry. Now, these are the two entry signals that I teach in my courses. So if you don't know the language that I'm speaking right now, I'll put a link in the description. You can check out more information on the courses, but that's how I teach you how to read for the A1 and the D1 entries. Those are the only two signals that I really trade. We can look for D2s. Those are the three that I teach, but A1s and D1s are the ones I do best. So it comes down, sets the candle formation, it pulls back to the 50, which created better risk reward because I knew I could short it here, put my stop at the top of the candle formation, and if it broke that, I wouldn't want to be short, but it could move lower after that signal and with the higher time frame bias. But I didn't get in there. I waited until we saw the TDI holding in the sell zone, see, holding under that 50 value, right? All of it's kind of oscillating under the 50 value, and we confirmed that. So I was in here. We confirmed that low, higher, the new lower high right here at 150.26. We confirmed it here. That's where I got short after. Now, I didn't put my stop right here because I just think that would be too close. So I just went with the original high here because even with putting my stop there, the risk reward to ADR is great. Being up 2.5R, where I got my first close out of this thing, that's a great rip for a trade that technically is a C setup because of the questions that we have to ask ourselves before entry. To get a C setup to go 2.5R pain-free, it's pretty solid. So you can see why it was more valuable for me to wait too, because normally if we have a candle formation push like this and the next bar is bullish, how this one is, that's a bad sign for the trade. But if we can wait and find tighter risk reward, you could justify it saying, look, if this breaks the 8, then I don't want it. I can get out very quickly and just take a small loss. I don't even need to get full stop at the top of the candle formation. I can just get out as it breaks the 8. But because you're entering there after the formation is already presented, it's like almost like a layup because you're either right or you're wrong very quickly. There's no waiting. And here, we were right. So now I'm going to just manage the rest of the trade to see if we can get it to move down towards ADR. That would be about 66 pips from my entry. With a 15 pip stop, that's pretty decent risk reward. I mean, if I told you to risk 1 to make 4, wouldn't you do that most times, if not all the time? Exactly. So now I think the significant level that we're looking at is support. You see we broke past yesterday's low already. We might need to retest that, but it's that 150 whole number right here. So I don't know if it's going to have the gas to push to 149.55. It might slow at this 150 significant level and pull back up. If it starts to pull back up, I'm going to piece myself out of the trade and make sure I'm not getting stopped in profit with all of what I have on. I will get out as it breaks the 8 as it comes up if it's not working for me. But if it wants to hold the 8 candle by candle, I'm going to be in this trade at least to ADR with something. But my stop is locked. I've still got a decent chunk on this trade. And this will probably be my last trade for the week. This will be my second winner of the week following GCAD. I don't think I'm going to need to trade tomorrow. I've got the Trader Vault with Jason Greystone and all those guys tomorrow. I've got some family coming into town for the weekend too. So I might just take these two into the weekend. But I'll come back on later this morning or early this afternoon. I'll recap the entire trade. I'll show you the P&L at the end, and we'll have ourselves a Thursday. Again, I appreciate you guys being here with me for the recaps. I hope that they're valuable to you. Today's word, let's go with smoothie, since Riley just made me a smoothie. If you watched this far in, comment smoothie. And make sure you check out the backtesting course and give me some real feedback on that. I really, really appreciate it. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm back. It is just after 10 a.m. You can see I have closed more of my GJ position. You can see it's the same entry price. That's how you know it's the same position, different close prices. So my best close so far was 149.569. The lowest that it's dropped so far is 149.47. So I didn't catch the exact bottom, but as you can see on my 1 minute markup on the left side here, I closed most of the trade that I still had in at ADR. That's 4R from my entry, 4-1. So it's a really, really nice trade, honestly, to end my week with. I don't think I'm going to be trading tomorrow. Like I said, I got the Trader Vault, got family coming in, Eric's coming to look for an apartment. So I'm going to take these 2 wins into next week and look to just carry that momentum. Definitely going to make sure I spend time this weekend going over them. They're definitely going to go into my chart markup folder to then go into my backtesting spreadsheet. And if you don't have a backtesting spreadsheet, you can click the link in the description to get yours. We have a course now available for you, so make sure you check that out. But I guess one more point I could make here is the thought would be, Austin, why get out of the trade here most of the trade. I have a very, very small piece on, like less than 10% of my original size. My stop loss is locked on it. I'm letting that run into the afternoon. But why close most of the trade at ADR? Well, because I don't know if this is going to be an above average day. And seeing that I did grade it a C setup, now there was trend and it was in bias, but still could have been better on the technical side. I want to make sure I'm taking full advantage of this. Normally C setups don't go 5R for you without any pain. And this one is almost at 5R from the entry point. So just taking the win, being grateful for this. 2 good wins this week. It's really all I could ask for. So backtesting course is available. I'm excited for that. It's Earth Day. We're going out to a yoga class in the park. I love living in Florida. You guys know that. Tomorrow, it's Friday. Got the Trader Vault. Riley and I are also going to film a podcast tomorrow morning. So we're going to go over some current event topics. I want to see what you guys think about that. I want to make sure we get some feedback from that. Let me know if it's interesting to you or if you'd rather me just stick to the trading videos. Honestly, I really want you guys to be honest. Hey, Austin, we don't really care about you and Riley talking about current events, or if you guys find it interesting, I want to know that so we can keep those videos coming as well, and I'll balance it out with these trading vlogs, if you would call them that. Cool. The key word is smoothie. If you watched all the way through, I appreciate you very much. I hope that it gives you some value. I'm glad that you guys got to see into my trading week this week. It ended up being a really solid week with 2 good wins, and now we'll continue this next week. So I appreciate you being here. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe so you don't miss my videos next week. You never know what we're going to learn from the market. And I'll see you guys in the next one.